Alright, this might be one of my most debatable videos yet, because today I'm ranking zombies maps from worst to best. Now before we start, I just want to say this. There really aren't many bad zombies maps. Some are just better than others. And I already know I'm gonna make some people mad with this list, but honestly, that's part of the fun. Also, if you disagree with me, tell me in the comments, because I actually read them, and honestly, I like seeing different opinions. Alright, let's start with one of the most debatable maps ever, Transit. Now, here's the thing about Transit. I don't think Transit is a bad idea, I just think it was ahead of its time, because if you really think about it, an open world zombies map traveling between locations, that actually sounds amazing. But then you actually play it, and everything just becomes frustrating. The fog makes it hard to see, the denizens are consistently annoying you, and the bus leaving you behind? That might be one of the most frustrating mechanics in zombies history. But at the same time, there's something about Transit that's still fun. It feels chaotic, it feels unpredictable. And honestly, playing with friends on Transit is still a really fun experience. But overall, it's just not a map I go back to very often. Now, Die Rise is a map that I actually wanted to like more than I did, because the idea behind this map is actually really cool. A vertical zombies map inside skyscrapers. That's actually really unique. But then you start playing, and suddenly you're worried about falling than zombies. And honestly, any map where falling is the main reason you die, that's a little frustrating. But I will say this, the Cycloflyer is one of the most fun wonder weapons ever. And when you're actually doing good on Die Rise, it can be really fun. But the problem is one mistake, and everything is gone. Nuketown Zombies is honestly one of the most chaotic maps ever, because you never really know what's going to happen. Perks drop randomly, the map is small, and things get crazy really fast. And honestly, sometimes that's really fun, but other times, it just feels unfair. Especially when Jug takes forever to drop, but overall, Nuketown Zombies is still a fun map, just not one of the best. Now let's talk about Kino, because this map is legendary. And honestly, Kino might be one of the most nostalgic maps ever. The stage, the theater, the training spots, everything about Kino just feels classic. And sometimes simple is actually a good thing. You don't need a complicated Easter egg, you don't need a crazy setup, you just load in, turn on power, and survive. And honestly, that's why so many people love Kino. Ascension is one of those maps that just feels fun. Like, there's really no other way to describe it. It's not super difficult, it's not super complicated, it's just a good time. But the monkeys, those monkeys can either make or break the map, because sometimes you're fully set up, you've got all your perks, you're feeling good, then boom, monkeys take everything, and suddenly you're back to struggling again. But honestly, that also makes Ascension interesting, because it keeps things unpredictable. And I think that's why a lot of people still go back to this map. Now, Call of the Dead is one of the most unique zombies maps ever. First off, the celebrity cast was awesome. Having actual characters like that in zombies just felt different. And then there's George Romero, which honestly is one of the coolest boss ideas they've ever done. But also, George can get really annoying sometimes, especially when you're just trying to survive. And he's consistently chasing you. But at the same time, that's what makes this map memorable, because Call of the Dead doesn't feel like any other map. And honestly, that's why it's so good. Now, Mob of the Dead. This is where things start getting serious, because Mob of the Dead is honestly one of the most atmospheric maps ever made. The prison setting, the characters, the story, everything about this map just feels dark. And the afterlife mechanic, that was one of the most creative ideas they've ever added. Being able to go into afterlife, unlock things, power things, that added so much depth to the gameplay. And honestly, Mob of the Dead is one of those maps that never gets boring. You can play it over and over again. and it still feels fresh. Origins is one of those maps that completely changed zombies. Because before Origins, most maps were pretty simple, but Origins had so much to do. The staffs, the generators, the robots, the Easter egg, everything about this map just feels massive. And honestly, the first time you play Origins, it can feel overwhelming. But once you learn it, it's one of the most rewarding maps ever. And that's why so many people consider Origins one of the best. Shadows of Evil is honestly one of the most underrated maps, because when this map first came out, a lot of people didn't like it. It was complicated, it was confusing, and it wasn't what people expected. But once you actually learn the map, it becomes incredibly fun. The Wonder Weapon is amazing, the atmosphere is incredible, and honestly, this map just has so much personality. Der Riesendrak. This is one of the most loved zombie maps ever, and honestly, it's easy to see why. The bows, the castle setting, the gameplay, everything about this map just works. And what makes Der Riesendrak so good is that it's not too complicated, but there's still a lot to do, which makes it perfect for both casual players and hardcore players. Now this is where things get really tough, because there are so many great maps, but there can only be one number one. And honestly, my number one map is Mob of the Dead, because it just has everything. Atmosphere, gameplay, story, characters. Mob of the Dead just feels different. Alright, that's my ranking. Let me know in the comments what your favorite zombie map is. And also, let me know what video I should make next, because I actually like making videos based on what you guys suggest. And if you enjoyed this video, stick around, because I've got more zombie videos coming soon. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one.